Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
That they may be one as we are one. Listening to our gospel today has me wondering what it means to be one with each other. As we heard, Jesus asked God to help his community to be one with each other in the way that Jesus and God are one. But what does it mean to be one with one another? What does that look like? It could mean striving for uniformity, a community centered on being one and the same with no room for individuality. A community where everyone looks the same, acts the same, and thinks the same way, with no variations and no exceptions. But that's not only boring, it is also impossible. People are not made from cookie cutters. Look around this room. Just take a moment to look at the people around you. We are all different in so many beautiful ways. And each of us is created to express the richness of what it means to be human across a broad spectrum that's very diverse. So when Jesus talks about being one with one another, remember that he actively pursued diversity in his own life. He hung out with fishermen and tax collectors, with lepers and social outcasts, with widows and the poor. He brought together a community that included the people that other people wouldn't include. A community that answered God's call to love one another, period, no exceptions. So if we're going to follow Jesus' example to be one with Jesus and one with God, that means broadening the boundaries of what it means to be community. It means pursuing deeper relationship with God and deeper relationship with others, especially others that aren't like us. It means pursuing the type of community that crosses boundaries, blurs boundaries, and removes boundaries, all in the name of God's love. And if we need inspiration for how to start doing that, we can look to the youth of our church as our role models. Our youth are venturing beyond St. John's to connect with our neighbors just to the south of us in Salinas. We're going on a service learning trip starting today, which focuses primarily on learning about the lived experiences of migrant farm workers and their families. Our current political climate has created particularly stressful environments for these families. Their jobs on the farms in Salinas provide us with the fresh produce we buy in our local grocery stores. Produce they often can't afford to buy for themselves. And these families face significant challenges, including language barriers, difficult cultural adjustments, separation from family, constant fear of deportation, limited access to health care and social services, and exploitation by employers. These challenges make it difficult for them to access resources and advocate for their own rights. Jesus' call that we may all be one includes our neighbors to the south. So we're going to Salinas because we want to expand our understanding of these neighbors and their needs. We hope to build deeper relationships with a community that may be new to many of us. Some of the ways we'll be serving and learning in Salinas include watching the documentary East of Salinas, which tells the story about a teacher and a student, both from migrant farm working families at Sherwood Elementary School. The movie follows the two over a 3-year period and shows some of the challenges migrant families face. And then the day after we watch that documentary, we're going to meet the teacher featured in that documentary. Oscar Ramos is a teacher at Sherwood Elementary School, and he's coming to speak with our group about the current situations for families and particularly for children in this time, in this place. Additionally, we're going to go to Sherwood Elementary School on 2 different afternoons to facilitate an after-school program, including crafts and games for children in a school where 95% of them are from migrant families. We'll also be visiting Alba, which is a 100-acre organic farm training facility in the Salinas Valley for migrant farm workers, which enables them to pursue the goal of farm ownership and finding better opportunities. And then the day after that, we're going to an actual organic farm called Catalan Family Farm in Hollister, which is a 6-acre organic farm run by Maria Catalan, who is a graduate of Alba. We'll learn about the farm and about Maria's dream of helping other farm workers become independent. And Maria has offered to teach us how to make tamales. We'll also be going to visit Natividad Community Gardens to learn about the community gardening movement, whose goal is to make fresh produce accessible to people in the community. Remember that many people who grow the food we eat do not have access to or cannot afford that same food. And we'll be serving meals in 2 local food kitchens, which provide breakfast and lunch to unhoused people who live in Salinas. In addition to all that, we're making donations to these organizations with the money that the youth have fundraised over the last year. Supporting these organizations financially is important because it shows that we respect and value the expertise of these organizations. We honor their time with us by supporting their work. We support their efforts to build equitable communities where everyone's needs are met. And I invite you, if you would like to make contributions to any of these organizations directly, if you would look in the latest issue of the Mouse, there just happen to be links to all of those organizations' donation pages. So you could participate in that directly yourselves if you would so like. The hope for this trip is to grow in our understanding of what it means to love your neighbor as yourself, to acknowledge that our own ancestors were also immigrants in a land that was not their own, to connect with our migrant neighbors in Salinas in meaningful ways and learn how to advocate for their safety and well-being. Jesus prays that we will be one with each other in the same way he is one with us and with God. And part of creating that type of oneness within community involves our willingness to learn about the lived experiences and needs of others. Our willingness to meet those needs. Our willingness to remove the barriers that create those needs. Our willingness to include those that are excluded by others. Because when we take the time to learn from, understand, and support God's vast diversity of people, connections are made, relationships develop, boundaries are erased, communities come together. Oneness, in its broadest sense, takes root and blossoms.